Well, as the weekend has come to an end, that doesn't mean we have to end things here. So today I decided to do something special. For some of you who may or may not know, I was way behind on the ChocoPro show, so that means I had to do 5 reviews of that very same show from 5 different events. So we're going to do all of them throughout the entire episode. So today is all about ChocoPro. So it's going to be fun and exciting, but also we see the return of Miya Yatsuba and Nonoka Seto after coming back after dealing the loss of their father. But it's great that they're back in action, hopefully to surprise many of their fans what they're going to do now. And we have some very interesting matches we definitely going to be seeing. So we also got a very small news updates, but mostly developments I think we're going to be talking about as well. So let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay right here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling news from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on a separate video by itself. We also do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also do Nagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool things as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool content of wrestling that you guys might enjoy. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have set aside. I said this earlier. Today's episode is all about ChocoPro. So we have 5 shows that we're going to be reviewing from them. And the first one we're going to begin takes place back on April 21st with number 367. Okay, ChocoPro number 367. This took place recently on April 21st. As always, the show opened up with our favorite tag team and the current Asian Dream Tag Team Champions, the Best Bros, Mei Shiruga and Valiant Aki. Now, of course, they give their introductions, the lowdowns of what's going on in the upcoming matches. They will be in the main event later on. So let's begin with, of course, our first match. Our first match, we have Chon Chiru teaming up with the rookie Iri Kane. They take on Sayaka and Sayaka Obihiro. So we got 2 Sayakas in the same, match. However, no, they're not from the same generation. In case anybody asks, Obi has 13, 14 years of experience. Sayaka has maybe up to 5 years of experience. But however, we have seen Sayaka has grown significantly. She showed a bit of the violence. She has picked up wins in here and there. We're yet to see her biggest win ever, but nonetheless, her team up with Sayaka Obihiro has been very interesting. However, Chonchiro has one thing on his hand. As you know, Iri Kane, she is in fact the rookie, despite the fact that she is 40 years old, even though she can pick up, and I think fans adore her. She has a unique style in wrestling. She does that whole thing like they do in football players, where they're get warming their legs right there in the same spot, ready to do their drills or whatever they're doing, that sort of thing. She has that uniqueness, but you would think that would have been a very simple way to pick up the win. No, Obi was the one who picked up the win when she applied. I don't know if it was a sunset flip, but she applied it onto Erie, and just like that, she picked up the win. Now, our next match, we have a singles match. We have Tokiko Kirihara taking on the boss of Gambari Pro Wrestling, Ken Oka. That's right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back communications. That's right. Ken Oka, the guy who runs Gambari Pro, he showed up. Now, it's no secret he's been in this show a few times. Of course, he had a little beef with Mei Shiruga, and then he started pretending that he was her. But this time it was different. Basically, he was being a very serious wrestler. Now, don't forget, as you know, Gambari Pro is currently under new management. But enough of that part. But however, how did this happen in this match? Simple. I have to say, as you know, Ken Oka, who has more experience as Tokiko, along with Sayaka, are from the same generation, 5 years of experience. But we cannot deny that Tokiko has brought in a lot of techniques into her wrestling craft, more specifically striking and possibly, how do I say, submission techniques. She even applied an armbar onto Ken Oka, but somehow Ken Oka was able to overturn it into a pinfall and allowed it to become a win. I was like, whoa, that was impressive. So he was able to pick up a pretty good win. I was like, not bad. I don't think Tokiko actually expected it, but nonetheless, it worked. Now, our next match, we have Hoshitango and Masahiro Takanashi taking on the Best Bros. Now, it's no secret that, of course, Hoshitango has his issues towards Mei Shiruga. Mei Shiruga may be small, but don't count her little big heart. I mean, Mei Shiruga, she is very, very fiery. You know, I used to call her the Sly Devil because she's always up to no good. But however, this is a bigger threat. If Masa and Hoshitango pick up a win, there is the possibilities that they could issue a challenge for the Asian Dream Tag Team titles. So far, they were able to hold on to that. So far, no, hasn't been any challenger just yet. But you would think there was going to be some interesting moments. Of course, there was a moment where, of course, they choke out. Balinaki was choking out Hoshitango while Masa was in the ground, all disorient. But Balina was right on top of Hoshitango, and then all of a sudden, Meishuga got on top of Balina, tried to maneuver Hoshitango right on top, where he pancaked him completely, allowing for Meishuga to pin Masa, and just like that, they pick up the win. So basically, they were smart enough to use Hoshitango's weight against Masa. So very smart tactic. So I give them credit for that. Now, for our Jonkin tournament, this one was a very interesting one, but I can tell you what happened towards the end. The last two finalists was none other than Masahiro Takanashi and Meishuga. Now, it's no secret these two actually have won before. I have noticed on several occasions that, of course, throughout the entirety of the Jonkin tournament, Meishuga was and of course Masa were using, of course, scissors. I mean, rock, paper, scissors. That's the Jonkin thing. But however, this did not go well, of course, for um, Masa, because apparently he went scissors while Meishuga outsmarted him with rock. And of course, Masa was in the ground like a little big crybaby. Like, he can't believe he lost. But I guess Meishuga knew what he was doing, so she outsmarted him. So not bad for a win. So I think it was a really fun show. Uh, I mean, the main event was the best one for me because Mei Suga had her issues towards Hoshitango, but I can't wait to see what happens from here on out. But right now, let's move on to the next show, and I think this one took place on April 28th, and I think this is 368. Okay, ChocoPro 368. This took place back on the 28th of April, but this also sought out the return of the sisters Mia Yotsuba and Nonaka Seto. Now, quick recap of what happened. As you may remember, I posted this on a news update previously. Both sisters announced, well, Mia kind of explained the situation, what was going on. She announced that, of course, her father passed away all of a sudden, and it hit her hard. Um, she even talked about her dad, how proud he was, how he was okay with the idea of her doing wrestling, and the plans from leaving the hometown where they're from to come to a Got to Move show. But sadly, that was never happened. And it's kind of sad, but I know deep down they're both sisters, both Mia, and of course Nonaka will make their father proud watching from above. I'm sure he's a proud father. Talked. They even mentioned, of course, he talks about them all the time to the townsfolks, and I'm sure the town folks will love nothing more to support it. But it's great that they're back, and I think they're involved in the main event, which is, I have to say, a perfect comeback for them. Well, not a real comeback, but a comeback for them to get refreshed after dealing their grief. So right now, let's get started with that. Our first match, we have, of course, both Sayaka and Obi, teaming up, taking on the very incomparable duo, Antonia Honda and Masahiro Takanashi. Now, of course, you know why I say they're incomparable duo, because they're very opposites from each other. You look at Masa, he's a bit strict. He doesn't give a damn about the others. Antonio Honda, well, he tries to throw in a bit of comedy. He even does the Rocky theme, da da da. Then, of course, Terminator theme. A bit of a weirdo, but it works for him. You would think so, but it kind of did, because it was Honda with a bridge onto Sayaka, allowing him to pick up the win. Next match, we have a very interesting match. We have Chiko Shikawa taking on this guy named Kushinbo Kamen. Now, he's a masked wrestler, but he looks more like a child that has a lot of snacks and candy all over him. And he had this really interesting theme song that they were playing from. They were like humming it, like singing it. But I thought it was great. She was trying to do the same thing, that trying to mock him, or I don't know. But I don't think Koshimbo didn't care. I think he feels like, I'm having a bit fun. She has the tendency to try to piss off or try to get under the skin of other people, but it did not work. But however, you would think that somehow Kushinbo, he would try to find a way to outsmart Chi, because she is too much energy. Have you ever guys seen her how she wrestles? She can run around in circles with you without stopping, unless you try to trip her and she tries to jump over it. However you think. But however, it was Kushinbo who outsmarted her when he applied the schoolboy, and just like that, it was completely over. And then of course they shook hands on that, and they became BFFs. I wouldn't be surprised if those two team up. I know Kushiba did team up a couple years ago with Yuna Mizumori. This is before she left, but it was a lot of fun match. Now, our main event, we have Iri Kane with Nonaka Seto and Miya Yotsuba. It's interesting that we have three different sets of lesser experienced wrestlers teaming up. I mean, the recent one is Iri Kane, then Nonaka Seto, and then of course Mia, who's been with this promotion for over a year now, and it kind of puts it in a very interesting matter. But nonetheless, they take on Tokiko, Kirihara, and the Best Bros, which is a very interesting dynamic to have those two, the Best Bros, with a third partner. I mean, they hardly team up with a lot of people unless they know they can count on them. But however, of course, this was going to be a very interesting matchup. But however, it was Mei Shruga who picked up the win when she pinned Nonaka, and just like that, so it's more like a welcome back party. But nonetheless, the Best Bros and Tokiko pick up the win. Now, for our Jonkin tournament, this was a very difficult one to pinpoint. The Best Bros were limited in the second tournament, but I can tell you how this one ended with the Jonkin tournament. It was, in fact, the one person I did not expect, but he seems happy about it. Kushinbo was the one who won. Yeah, Kushinbo Kamen won. I wasn't expecting that, but nonetheless, at least he had candy in the end. I'm talking about the ChocoPro chocolate. So that's pretty fun for him to have. So I think that's it for this particular show. So let's move on with 369. Okay, ChocoPro 369. Now, as always, this one happened during the Golden Week fight, which is an annual thing that happened. We've seen many promotions that do that all the time, but this one had a very interesting day. Well, this and the following day, this went on to 3 days straight. However, as always, the Best Bros opened up the show, give the lowdown. However, it opened up with an exhibition match. Now, those who are unfamiliarized when it comes to exhibition match, this is when they showcase a brand new trainee who has finished going through the rigorous training with what they call the Hero project, run by none other than Emi Sakura. But however, recently Mei Shruga has been the one running the entire training procedure in her absence while she's here in the States. They introduced a new wrestler named Hiroyi. Hiroyi, and her opponent is, of course, someone who's been through these exhibition matches before. We're talking about Miya Yatsuba. So you would think, okay, so Miya has been through this, so she knows what to expect when a rookie. Now, keep in mind, each wrestler that comes out of the Hero Project, you would think they're different from each other with their attitude. I mean, Miya had a bit of a fiery, same thing with her sister too. But how would would do that? Well, apparently she had that same fire too. However, that didn't do any well for it because this match was only a 3-minute time limit. However, it was Mia that picked up the win by pinning her, and then they continue on until the time limit draw was over, and just like that. So, whatever, Mia actually picked up the win. Now, our next match, we have a very interesting tag match. We have Kurume Hiragi from Prominence. She teams up with Tiger Shinjuku. They take on Shiko Shikawa and Sayaka Obihiro. Now, some of you may say, recently we've been seeing Obi teaming up with the other Sayaka. Well, that is true, but today she teams up with Chi. Now, we know they have teamed up before. Sayaka is is in the show, but that will be in the next match. However, they had to deal with a very aggressive Tiger Jeet Shinjuku. I don't, as you know, he is part of the Uma army. He completely lost his temper and that started attacking, of course, Chi and Sayaka for no apparent reason. I mean, Sayaka is an associate of that group, but nonetheless, you know that there was going to be some interesting maneuvers. Now, Tiger has been very aggressive in this entire match. Not to mention Hiragi, she is also aggressive too, since being a member of Prominence. But, however, it was Obihiro with the schoolboy onto Tiger, and just like that, she picked up the win. Our next match, we have Irikane. She takes on Sayaka. Nothing too significant on this one, but however, of course, Sayaka, as you know, with 5 years in her experience, she knows what to expect with Irikane, who is the new girl on the block. That would be interesting. However, she did pick up the win when she applied a submission onto her and forcing her to tap out. I did mention Sayaka has picked up wins in here and there. I mean, we are yet to see her biggest win just yet, but we'll get to that when the day comes. Now, our main event, we have Masahiro Takanashi teaming up with, well, Antonio Honda dressing up like Emi Sakura, calling himself Emi Honda. Yeah, talk about a drag queen. But yes, anyway, they take on the Best Bros. However, there's an implication on this one, if you guys must know. If somehow Honda and Masa were able to pick up a win for this one in a non-title match, they could be in line to challenge the Best Bros for the Asian Dream Tag Team titles. And I'm sure that's been in the back of their minds of the Best Bros thinking of that. Of course, it's something you know that's going to happen, but in the same time, you want to be careful about it. However, we know that what they can do. I mean, both Honda and Masa were their capabilities. But however, I feel like the best bros have to put their A game and put themselves through the test, knowing too well that they have to face Masa, who's a bit of a slick wrestler who knows how to be clever. You got Honda, who can try to pick up tricks up his sleeves to win the match, and that did not stop them until it was Mei Suga that put Emi Honda away with the pinfall. And just like that, thank God they will never have to put the titles on the line against them. Now, for our Junkin tournament, this was going to be a tough challenge. I didn't know who was going to walk out, but in the end, it was Masahiro Takanashi. So he picks up the win for the chocolate, and that's all she wrote, folks. So I think we're done with 369. Let's move on with 370. Okay, ChocoPro 370. This took place on May 4th. So this is part of the Golden Week fight. As you know, this is an annual thing they do. They don't treat it as a holiday, but they treat it as a fun event, to be honest with you. But as always, the show is open this time with Balin Aki giving the lowdown. Now, some of you may question, where is Mei Shruga? Well, I'll explain to you about that in a little bit. However, of course, we start out with the exhibition match. Once again, the new girl, Hiroyi, actually takes the stage, and this time she faces too much energy Chiko Shikawa. Now, of course, you know Chi, she runs around in circles. She has a bit of an aggressiveness. She screams too loud that makes your ears want to do this when she does that. So, if you know what I mean. But anyway, she only had 3 minutes to survive with them, and of course, it doesn't matter how many pitfalls you get, as long as you get one or something. It goes like that. But she was able to pick up one pinfall from her, and until the time limit ended at 3 minutes. Now, our next match, we had a very interesting one. We have Iri Kane. She takes on against the de facto leader of Colors, Saki. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Saki. As you know, Saki has been pretty much busy, making appearances here in the States with Spark and, of course, Sukeban, and making appearances in other promotions such as Marvelous, Pure J, whatever she goes to. But nonetheless, she was there. So you would think Saki, who in fact has more experience than Iri, would have been the factor of that. It kind of did, but she finished her off by applying the Scorpion Deathlock, or the Sharpshooter, if you might add, forcing her to tap out, giving Saki the win. Our next match, we had a very interesting tag match. We have, of course, Nonaka Seto. She takes on Sayaka. Well, she teams up with Sayaka Obihiro, and they take on Chonchiru. That's right, Chonchiru has a new partner, and this one called is Meisu. It's actually Meisura's alter ego when she's doing the kung fu thing. That's right, she's doing acting like she's a female Bruce Lee. I mean, I don't know. But yes, so that's what it was the entire time. That's why you did not see Mei Shruga opening the show with her tag partner and her best bro, Balinaki. So she basically created a new transformation. But however, you probably would think, would this be effective to facing, of course, Nonoka and Obi? But I have to say, it didn't matter, because Mei Shruga, she always comes up with clever tricks. But when it comes to a new character like this one, that's a different ball game. But however, she was able to pick up the win when she pinned Nonoka 1, 2, 3, giving the win to her and, of course, Chonchiru. Now, our next match, we have Balinaki versus Tokiko Kihara. This one, I have to say, was one of those matches where I say Tokiko did her best performance, but at the same time, this is where she put Balinaki through the test. I mean, Balinaki, he is a pro at best, despite of him not being like in a major promotion. But the dude knows exactly what to do. But Tokiko, with her magnificent strikes and all that, would have been factor. But however, Balinaki was able to return it when she first applied a Swanton bomb, and then of course a diving body press, allowing him to pick up the win. Now our next match, then finally we have the Jonkin tournament. This one was a very interesting one. However, I can tell you how this one ended. It ended with, of course, with Mei Su versus Saki, and this one was a little interesting. However, it was Saki to pick up the win, and she got the piece of chocolate. Now, I cannot recall if Saki has ever won the Jonkin tournament. I mean, there's a whole lot of footage to look in on her to see which ones she participated. But yes, so I don't know, but we'll see. So I think that's pretty much it with this one with 370. Let's move on with the last one, which is of course 371. Okay, our last ChocoPro review, and that is of course number 371. As always, the show opened up with the best bros doing the lowdown, giving the information of the matches of the entire show. However, there is one thing that was shown. There was no exhibition match, which was weird, but however, not uncommon. But we will probably see another one, or possibly in the next ChocoPro show, Hiroyi probably making her debut officially. But we will see what happens until then. But right now, let's move on with our very first match. We have Irikane teams up with Nonoka Seto. They take on Chiko Shikawa and Tamura Jean. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with this guy named Tamura Jean, he runs a promotion in a different area. I don't remember exactly, but it's called Heat Up. Of course, Got to Move and ChocoPro has done shows in their area before where they collaborated. You would think that this was going to be a very simple one because you got two of experienced wrestlers wrestling against two of the lesser experienced. Well, Nonoka has been with the promotion for almost half a year, while Airi just been with the promotion for almost a few months. So that kind of sets it out right there. But it was she with the muffler, or which is the move directly called by Despy Dos, or the or that same move that Starlight Kid applies, and finished off, of course, Sato to force her to tap out, and just like that, it was completely over. Now, our next match, we have Masahiro Takanashi teams up with this weird dude named Poison Sawadi Jewel. The Best Bros were put in a very predictable test because somehow Masa found a partner that could actually try to help him win. Now, keep in mind, Masa has preceded the tag belts before in various ways. I mean, with Chris Brooks, possibly with with Emi Sakura and various other partners. But this one was put them through the test in the tag team, match. I just was impressed that they were able to survive these two, no matter what. But it was a double pinfall because they were able to isolate Jewel away from Masa in order to pick up the win, and that just like that, it was completely over. Now our next match, this is a very interesting main event. Miya Yatsuba versus Sayaka Obihiro. Now I don't know why they made this one, but I think this is I wouldn't be surprised if this match is more like for Mia to honor her dad, because we know he probably will never see her wrestle in person. I mean, we know he's seen all of her matches on YouTube, but yes. However, it was a very interesting match. We have seen Mia has picked up good wins in tag teams, but we're yet to see her have her biggest match just yet. Uh, but in other words, she has to deal with a wrestler who has more experience with her, about maybe 13 to 15 years at best. But it was Obi with the Obi magic that put her away, and just like that, it was over. Now, for our Jonkin tournament, this one ended with Masa winning, but he did not take the chocolate. He gave it to his partner that he had, Poison Sawadi Jewel. So basically, it's not uncommon to see wrestlers who actually want a piece of chocolate and they gave it to their friends. We did see that with the leader of the Uma army when she gave that to Obihiro after that one match that they had last year or so. But nonetheless, That's what it was. But that's how it happened. There will be a 372, but that will not be uploaded until the 10th of May. It should be happening as we speak. Well, we'll see. But at the moment, right now, we just end things with all our reviews and move on with our last and final thing, a very short news updates for all of you. Okay, so welcome to our developments. So this is what we have for all of you. Now there is no updates with their upcoming with the promotions just yet. Hopefully we'll get that by the next episode. But however, let's begin now. As you know, New Japan star and one of the best junior heavyweight competitors in the entire world, Despy has begun the whole thing with the Despy Invitational or the Despy Invitational. Now, the real question is, who is he going to invite? Well, it turns out he just made an appearance at DDT Pro Wrestling, handing an invitation to the one person I did not think he was going to invite, but it was rather strange, and that is, of course, Shuko Dino. Now, some of you may ask me why. I mean, come on, guys, you've seen Dan Shuko Dino. Those who haven't, let me explain. Dan Shuko Dino has a tendency to pull his pants down and shove someone's face up their behind. That's why. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I cannot speak on Despy's mentality why, but this is his show. We'll just see when it happens. Now, we haven't seen Dexter Loomis for quite some time, but there's been reports that's been hinting that he will be aligning himself with Uncle Howdy. As you know, that is the same Uncle Howdy that was involved with Bray Wyatt, or as the Fiend, as you want to call it. So we'll be looking into that soon enough, hopefully when that day comes. Now, as you know, recently we have some releases coming from the NXT campment. As you know, one of those wrestlers named Valentina Feroz was named. I was very surprised that they actually did that. But, however, she just broke her silence and went on social media and put this. So this is what she had to say. With immense gratitude, I express my sincere thanks to everyone who's been part of my journey in WWE. From teammates to loyal fans, each of you has contributed, shaping my career in unforgettable ways. Thank you to all the opportunities granted me over the years. Every challenge, every victory has been experienced that have shaped who I am today. As I depart from the company, I carry with me precious memories and valuable lessons. While my time in W has come to an end, I recognize that this does not mark the end of my journey. The doors are open to the next chapter of my life. I'm eager to explore new horizons and challenges. I am grateful to all who have supported and followed my career thus far. You are the reason I continue to strive and believe in myself. I can't wait to share with you the future holds. With gratitude and optimism, Valentina Feroz. So it looks more like she is determining to wrestle. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys know her tag partner, Yulissa. Is currently wrestling in Mexico. She appeared in two different wrestling promotions. One was with the Crash, which is a local promotion down here in Tijuana, Mexico, and then there's the Chaos. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case that she'll be doing down the line. But we can only hope for the best for her, what she will do from here on out. And I hope we all continue to support her. So I think that's pretty much it for now. So let's just call it a day. Okie dokie. I guess everybody, hopefully you guys enjoy this. The entirety of this entire episode is all ChocoPro. I wasn't expecting to do this, but however, it worked. But I'm grateful that it did. So now you know. For our next episode, I haven't decided just yet. I decided I'm just going to wing it and we'll go from there. But as of right now, we haven't decided. But as we speak, we do have the All Together show, which is a collaboration with all different promotions, Stardom involving in themselves as well. But we'll see. But like I said, I'll wing this entire thing. So as of right now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.